Hello, Dragon Ball fans! I am your host, Gunchpot, and welcome back to Fantasy Fight Season 3, the ultimate tournament of power in Sparking Zero. Last time, we ran through the first half of Round 1 of our tournament, and this time, we're gonna be closing out the second half. If you missed the first episode, you can check that out now. Otherwise, you should be up to date on what we have going on. 2 fighters enter the ring, 1 fighter leaves. So, no need to prolong this any further. Let's get into Now, our first matchup today is going to be an interesting one. And when I say interesting, I mean it's probably going to be a bit of a blowout. First up, we have Goldo, the illest member of the Ginyu Force. He can freeze time by holding his breath. We'll see if this power is enough to take on his opponent, who is the legendary Super Saiyan himself. One of the Saiyans that survived Planet Vegeta's destruction, his power was enough to wipe out the entire South Galaxy. He truly is the stuff of legend. It's Broly. And it looks like our fighters are ready to begin. Let's start our first battle. All right, let's get into the first fight of the second half of this round of our tournament.
You mean business?
Yeah, Goldo, you think?
Yes! I will soak the dirt in your worthless blood!
Oh, he's probably not lying either. All right, let's begin. Broly versus Goldo. Goldo at a stark health disadvantage, and immediately he got a little bit of damage off, but Broly comes in and just smacks him around like the little ball of green flesh that he is. Broly absolutely demolishing any attempt that Goldo tries to do of an offense, and he's just breaking through what piss poor defense Goldo has, already leaving him down at half of his final health bar. A couple more hits, and folks, Goldo is going to be done. Although, he goes into sparking mode with his fighting pose, and he goes for his ultimate technique, and it hits the umbrella in front of him. Oh no, Goldo. That was his ace in the hole, and unfortunately, it looks like a hole is exactly where he is going to go. He's at 1 HP right now. Broly seems to be toying with his food and decides to put an end to it. That is going to be Broly moving on to the next round.
I will enjoy torturing you for as long as I like.
Somebody pull Broly off of Goldo, please! Somebody get him! And moving right along to our next battle, we have Cell in his perfect form, not to be confused with Perfect Cell. This is the version that absorbed 18 and fought Goku, before blowing himself up, of course. And his opponent is, some people call him the Drink. He's been rocking a woman's jacket for 40 years, and to this day, nobody has stepped into the scene with more raw aura than Trunks with a sword. Perfect form Cell versus Super Saiyan Sword Trunks. All right, Trunks versus Cell. Yeah, pull out that sword, Trunks.
Guess there's no escaping evil in this world.
Tell him, talk to him.
All of your efforts will be in vain.
All right, let's begin this battle. Oh, immediately, Cell with the beam. And that is going to do a lot of damage to Trunks right away. Trunks is going to need to do a little bit of work if he wants to bring back this fight. All right, he's pulling out the sword, but Cell gets behind him and is now getting a really nice combo off and is going to follow up with this beam attack once again, dealing almost 2 of Trunks' health bars right here at the beginning. He's spamming these attacks. Cell is just doing constant damage, but Trunks is now entering sparking mode with his burning heart technique, but Cell also enters sparking mode. Trunks just let him. He's going for his super shining sword slash attack, and it connects. This is the attack that he used against Frieza, and it's going to be used to put down Cell now in this fight, putting Cell on the same health bar, but still basically an entire health bar up on Trunks, and he also has his ultimate attack, that perfect barrier. Let's see if he decides to use it. Now would be the time. He gets Trunks in the spin cycle. It looks like he was going for the backflip so that he could use that ultimate attack, but it does not get off. Trunks does interrupt it, and Trunks, though he is down in health right now, he is fighting to his last, and then takes a Kamehameha! He just came out of nowhere! That's Trunks Super Saiyan out of the tournament!
Gaze upon me in horror as you take your final gasping breath.
That's Cell! Perfect. Moving on. Moving right along, folks, we have another fun match ahead of us. First up, we have an expendable peon who's ready to make a name for himself here in the Fantasy Fight Arena. But he probably won't. It's Frieza Soldier, and his opponent is a form of Goku. This was the peak of Super Saiyan at one point, providing a massive power multiplier and insane hair. The downside is that it takes a lot of power to maintain. Fortunately for Goku, I don't think this fight is gonna be that tough. Prepare yourselves for Frieza Soldier versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Alright folks, these last couple battles have been absolute stomps, and I'm not expecting this one to be any different.
Broken again.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna hit you as hard as I can.
Yeah, he is. All right, Frieza Soldier versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Right away, Frieza Soldier gets the first hit off, but Goku does hit that Sonic Sway, and then he comes in with a relentless combo, pounding Frieza Soldier into the stage. All right, both fighters here are going to be taking a little bit of a step back. Frieza Soldier trying to charge up. Goku not doing much. It looks like he's maybe over-anticipating his opponent, maybe getting inside his head a little bit. Frieza Soldier using full power charge, but then trying to charge up to sparking mode with no stocks, but he's going in for the energy wave, and that's gonna connect. He's doing decent damage to Goku, although he is now on his last health bar, so we'll have to see if he does anything to bring this fight back. All Goku needs to do is burn down this last health bar, and it looks like he's doing just that. We have some Z counters coming back and forth. Frieza Soldier actually putting up a decent fight. And now he's charging up the sparking mode. He could use his ultimate attack. We could see Goku's ultimate as well. The Dragon Fist come out now. It depends on which one. Oh, Goku! He instant transmissions behind Frieza Soldier and goes for the Dragon Fist. That is so disrespectful. He didn't need to do that. It's not the Dragon Fist. I apologize. It's the Dragon Twin Fists. And that is what is going to end Frieza Soldier. Not a surprising outcome, but it was a fun fight nonetheless. And next up, folks, we have the daughter of Gohan. And she's a half-competent fighter in her own right. When she's not a damsel in distress, she's a fun-loving, rambunctious teen quarter Saiyan who wants to prove herself in the ring. Pan is ready for action. And her first opponent is going to be the first android of this part of the tournament. Another android created by Gero. 13 absorbed a couple of his android buddies and became big and blue, unfortunately losing his signature trucker hat in the process. But Android 13 is back for revenge, and it looks like Pan is going to be the subject of his rage. Get ready, folks, for Pan versus 13! Alright, Pan versus 13. This should be a fun fight.
You wanna get trounced by a cutie like me, do you?
Trounced?
After I rip you limb from limb, Goku is next.
That's the type of energy I expect. I do like Android 13, but I prefer him in his trucker hat form. Okay, and right away, Pan is at a disadvantage, but she gets a quick early bit of damage off, and 13 goes and hides behind the stands, and then completely obliterates the stands. What is he doing? What is going on in this fight? Both fighters taking it a bit slow, keeping their distance right now. Pan trying to keep up her guard, and so is 13. Neither of these fighters knows the extent of the other's power, and it looks like Pan is now trying to percept what was coming next, but she just didn't hold it long enough, I guess. And going for the SS Deadly Bomber, 13. Oh, but Pan blocks it. She just sends it flying into the upper atmosphere. Now, Android 13 is, of course, an android, so he doesn't have to charge ki, and Pan does, but she goes in and hits this Giru missile. She's calling in her Robo Buddy to fire upon Android 13, and that is going to do a decent amount of damage. So far, this fight has been pretty slow, but now Pan is entering sparking mode, and Android 13 is just kind of hanging back. Is he lost? Is he malfunctioning? What's happening? All right, it looks like Pan is now going in, and she misses that attack, and Android 13 gets a couple buffs from Pump Up. All right, both fighters standing still, taking a break, taking a breather, and now they're going in for this intense clash. Who is going to come out on top? That's going to be Pan. Pan, starting at a health disadvantage, it might have been the right thing for her to be that way, as she continuously is beating Android 13, and he is continuously seemingly malfunctioning in this fight, as he is just standing there. He's getting in some good hits every now and again, but Pan is the one that is dealing most of the damage, now putting them on the same health bar. Well, I spoke a little bit too soon, and now he's following up with the SS Deadly Bomb, and I think this is going to connect. It does. Ooh, leaving Pan on just about her final health bar now. Android 13, maybe I was speaking a little bit too soon. Maybe he's simply playing with her and is not actually trying his hardest. All right, Pan once again enters sparking mode, and she's going for this rush, and it connects. That is going to be the Maiden's Rage. She's getting in a lot of good hits, and she's going to finish off with her own unique beam, and that's going to leave 13 at 1.5 health bars left. They are, again, technically on the same health bar, and he is currently locked off, allowing her to charge up to sparking mode once again. If she hits this rush twice in a row, that's going to be it. Pan is just pummeling down Android 13, and this is going to be the end of him. Sorry, I guess I spoke a little bit too soon. I anticipated that attack doing a little bit more damage, but Pan is still definitely up in this fight and only needs to do a little bit more damage to finish off 13. I apologize. That's my first time ever calling a fight prematurely. Pan going for the Saiyan Spirit, getting a couple of buffs. She just needs to get in and punch him. He's standing wide open. He hits the Perception, and now it looks like he's going to be able to follow up with some key attacks, and then he just comes in, breaks Pan's guard. Both of them Percept. Pan needs to come out with a victory here in these engagements, or it's going to be all over. He's actually at 1 HP right now, and Pan is rushing in, misses that attack, and just tries to charge up a little bit more ki. Android 13 allowing her to charge up to sparking mode, and she goes for this rush again. Okay, folks, now it is over. I am not sure what is going on with Android 13. Perhaps he was just getting confused at not having to charge ki, but that's that fight.
You harass me again.
There's no do-overs in Fantasy Fight. Pan is advancing to the next round. Alright folks, this next battle has a couple fighters that I have been excited for. Well, really, only the one. And it's not our first fighter, no offense.
Oh, you better shut it, mate.
That's fair. He's red, he's Australian for some reason, he's a member of the top class fighting team, the Ginyu Force. It's Jace. And his opponent is one of my favorite fighters in this tournament. Again, I'm not trying to play favorites or anything, but I just can't help myself. He's the time-stopping assassin from Universe 6, one of the coolest characters introduced in Super. His time skip technique not only looks epic, but it's nearly unstoppable. It's Hit. The fighters are ready to go. Let's get into this battle. All right, folks, this should be a good one. Watching Hit fight is always a pleasure.
I'll show you what happens when you disrespect the Ginyu Force.
Okay, he's fighting for the Ginyu Force.
You're down in one hit. Don't worry.
That might be true. All right, let's begin. Jace versus Hit. Both fighters coming in and clashing there in the center of the stage. All right, but Hit is coming out with a flurry of punches. A beautiful combo. All right, now he's going to take this opportunity to charge, and so is Jace. Hit immediately entering sparking mode, and so does Jace. We do now have his ultimate attack as well as the purple comet attack, both online. One of these fighters, okay, it looks like Hit is going for it, and that's gonna connect. He's hitting the time prison immediately, doing a ton of damage to Jace. Like he said in the beginning, he is not holding back in this fight. That's gonna leave Jace at 1.5 health bars left. And now Jace is going for the purple comet attack as well. We could be seeing Burner coming in. We do. Hit was not ready for the fastest in the universe to make an appearance. And now Jace and Burner are double teaming Hit. And they are now going to fuse into one big old purple ball and do a ton of damage to Hit. All right, that is going to leave Hit 1 health bar up on Jace, and it looks like Jace is going to be entering into sparking mode here, but Hit does stop him just in time. Now Jace throwing in that full power energy wave, and that's actually going to connect on Hit. All right, let's see what they decide to do next. Hit goes for that time skip. He closes the distance, but Jace uses his fighting pose to enter sparking mode, and now Hit does end up winning that engagement, but both fighters are in sparking mode now. We could see more ultimates coming out, and we do! We see the Time Prison make another appearance, and that is going to be the end of Jace. Hit making quick work of this battle, and looking so cool while he does it.
Mission complete.
And that is going to be Hit advancing to the next round.
Okay, folks, so interestingly enough, we have actually done this battle already, and it was a what if from Season 2 of Fantasy Fight after the Daima DLC came out. First up is one of the newest fighters on the roster from that DLC. It's the Demon Princess Pansy, who's strapped with tons of different gadgets and can even call in her father for reinforcements. And her opponent is the World Champ himself! The man, the myth, the legend, it's Mr. Satan! I know I'm just excited as the rest of you to see the champ in action, so let's not stall any further and let's get into this battle. It's Pansy versus the champ!
All right, like I said, we have seen this match before, and Pansy took the victory.
私は負けないぞ。
We'll have to see if the champ can put up a good fight.
Mr. Satan is gonna bring a beat down.
All right, let's begin the rematch of Pansy versus Mr. Satan. She immediately goes for the Wasabi Bomb, stunning him, and both of these fighters are going in for some of these little snap vanish engagements here. It looks like Mr. Satan is actually doing a pretty good job breaking through Pansy's defense, and he actually has a pretty good defense of his own here. An excellent Z counter from Mr. Satan there. All right, he's going to be getting some armor here with that buff. And he's going for his other one, the Royal Raiment. That is going to be giving him a ton of buffs. And now if he decides to get in close, he could deal some damage to Pansy. Now Pansy, just like in her last encounter with Mr. Satan, is spamming these blasts. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to take on the champ this time. All right, both of these fighters once again engaging into a Z counter duel. But all of Mr. Satan's buffs have gone away, and she is just spamming her blaster. All right, Mr. Satan once again getting some armor here. That is going to stop him from taking some damage. Pansy not allowing Mr. Satan to charge up, so we are not seeing the dynamite kick, the present bomb, or even his ultimate attack. All right, now Pansy is getting in with some good hits, and now she is going for the Wasabi Bomb again. Let's see how she follows up. She just doesn't. All right, Mr. Satan goes for that Royal Raiment and gets some buffs again. But he's just playing a little bit far away from Pansy right now. Looks like he wants to charge up. Pansy, once again, blasting Mr. Satan with her gun. And that is going to put him on his final health bar. And she's doing it again. And that is going to deal a ton of damage. Mr. Satan now looking a little bit lost, running around the stands. He comes in, tries to get some good hits off, but point blank, Pansy just executes Mr. Satan. And that's going to be Pansy moving on.
What a fun fight. Even though the champ lost, I'm just gonna say that he was going easy on that kid. But moving on, the first fighter in our next battle is going to be the fusion of Kale and Caulifla. Kefla is packed to the brim with power, and she has a vendetta against Goku. And it just so happens that's who she's up against. This version of Goku is from the very beginning of Dragon Ball Z. He's a new father and hasn't unlocked the power of Super Saiyan yet. It's Goku early. Let's see which Saiyan is going to take the victory.
All right, this should be fun. I always love watching Kefla and Goku fight.
My opponent, huh? I'll let my fist do the talking.
I don't really want to fight against you, though.
Oh man, Goku doesn't want to fight a girl? Is that what he's saying? All right, let's begin Kefla versus Goku early, and right away, Goku wins that small encounter at the beginning of this fight. Looks like Goku is at a health disadvantage as well. Kefla starting with 4 full bars. And now she's going to be charging up. We could be seeing some of these gigantic attacks coming out from Kefla. But we also have Goku with his classic techniques like the Kaioken, the Kamehameha, and the Spirit Bomb. All right, Kefla getting a really nice combo off on Goku, and now she is using the Saiyan Spirit to get some buffs. All right, she is going for this volley-esque attack, just absolutely relentless. Goku is taking a ton of damage in this fight. I understand this is not the strongest version of Goku, but it does look like he is getting this fight handed to him right now. He goes for the Kaioken, and it looks like he's charging up all the way. We could see the Kaioken Spirit Bomb come out. Kefla also goes for sparking mode. It looks like he is going for the Kaioken Spirit Bomb. Is this going to connect? It does not. Kefla, with her sparking mode now online, is going in. We could see the gigantic burst come out, and that would spell disaster for Goku. He does still, I was going to say he still has the Kaioken online, but it looks like he does not. All right, he now has the Kaioken back online. Kefla has the Saiyan Spirit, and she just goes for this volley as opposed to her ultimate attack. We still have plenty of time in this fight, folks. We could be seeing more ultimates coming out at any time. He goes for the Solar Flare, locking Kefla off, getting a couple of hits in while she is blinded. All right, Goku once again charging up some ki there, but not going all the way. It looks like we could be seeing a Kamehameha or a Kaioken attack coming out sometime soon. All right, once again, both these fighters liking their buffs. We have some more volley spam from Kefla, and that is going to allow Goku to now come in and get in some work. Both fighters, again, being very cautious. And Kefla is going to win that Snap Vanish duel. Goku is now charging up. Ooh, but Kefla manages to counter that attack, and now she is going on the offense, leaving Goku on his last health bar. This is not looking good for Goku, folks. He's barely managed to get one health bar down from Kefla. All right, he goes for the Solar Flare again. She is lost, spinning the camera around like an absolute psycho. I apologize for those of you in the audience that get motion sickness. Goku now going for the Kamehameha, infused with the power of the Kaioken, and that does a decent amount of damage. All right, now Goku is charging up into sparking mode. Again, we could be seeing the Spirit Bomb come out. His ace in the hole. This could be the opportunity to use it. Kefla now sparking mode with buffs herself. She could be doing a ton of damage if Sicho chooses to. And it looks like she is rushing in. And she is just going to be throwing this attack at Goku. And that's going to be enough to finish him off. That is Kefla moving on. As expected, Kefla advances.
Okay, folks, this next battle should be interesting. First up, we have a Namekian who stood up against Frieza. Eventually, Nail would fuse with Piccolo, granting him enough power to stall Frieza. But he's a fierce warrior in his own right, as one of the best Planet Namek has to offer. And his opponent is one of the strongest beings in the universe, Super Buuhan. Now, after absorbing Gohan, Buu reached a new level of power. Not only did he gain Gohan's ultimate power, but also Gohan's intellect, making him an incredibly formidable opponent. And it looks like our fighters are ready to go, so let's see who will take the victory between Nail and Buuhan.
Okay, Nail versus Buuhan. I'm really hoping that this fight is not super short. That's all you have to say? To the monster standing before you? All right, let's get going. All right, right away, looks like Nail is going to try to charge up, but Buu is having none of it. Nail goes in and retaliates with a nice little starting combo. We're getting some Ki Blast spam from Buu here at the beginning of the fight, but a full power energy wave from Nail makes contact, dealing a bunch of damage right away, and he's going for another one. That's going to do a little bit less damage, though. Buu is going to block that, and he's coming in with more spam. All right, and he's going to be hitting that buff move. Buu is going to be getting a bunch of buffs, and now he's going to be charging up his Ki. Not going all the way to sparking mode, though. He wants to close the distance. He's liking this Ki spam rather than using some of these stronger attacks that Nail is going for, and that is another full power energy wave, and that one connects. All right, Nail now charging up to sparking mode. We could be seeing the Mystic Flash coming out. All right, it looks like he's going for another beam, and that's going to miss, but he does have a little bit of sparking mode left, but Buu gets him into a combo. Now, finally, Buu going on the offensive here. All right, Buu hitting that Kamehameha. That is a nice combo string from Buu, but then Nail answers back with that energy wave. Both of these fighters very close. This is still anybody's fight here. All right, Nail coming in with a big combo. Boo managing to vanish out of it, but still loses the duel. And now Nail is going all the way once again to sparking mode. They are on the same health bar technically, but Boo gets hit by that full power energy wave, leaving him at 1 HP. Nail does have full key right now, and Boo is charging up. Nail could just hit one more energy wave, but he's gonna let Boo charge all the way up to sparking mode. All right, we could be seeing some ultimate attacks coming out, but we are just going to be seeing Nail hitting that energy wave.
Okay, folks, are you ready to see what happens next? Well, you just might not. Blink and you'll miss him. If you blink, you just might miss him because he is the fastest in the universe. So long as you don't think too hard about it. Birder is ready to blitz down the competition in the name of the Ginyu Force. And our second fighter is an absolute fan favorite. He's had a handful of appearances in movies, but has never made a canon appearance in the series. But that doesn't matter because Frieza's older brother Cooler is ready to prove why he's the best. Let's begin Birder versus Cooler.
Okay, it is Birder versus Cooler, and like I said, folks, Cooler is a fan favorite, but anything could happen in Fantasy Fight.
I'm going to win and get Lord Frieza to buy me a chocolate parfait.
A real crazy bunch is always nice.
All right, of course, they do have history, but right away, Cooler is coming out swinging, not allowing Birder to get a little speed advantage on him. An absolutely excellent combo from Cooler, who is also starting with a health advantage in this fight. Birder finally trying to get some damage in. He gets a couple of good hits, but Cooler is ready for it. Knowing Birder's attack patterns and the way that he fights, it seems like Cooler is ready for this fight and is able to counter Birder, and now he's entered sparking mode. He's going for the supernova. Is this gonna connect? It is, point blank. Cooler is leaving nothing on the table here, folks. He is going to absolutely eat up Birder in this fight, leaving Birder on his last health bar with just half of that final bar left. All right, now it looks like he's charging up again. Birder a little bit lost. He needs to lock back on and get back in to do some damage if he wants to win this fight. He's throwing that ball of energy, but it does a little bit of damage, but it is not enough to catch up. Birder now fighting in the stands. It just hits him with an energy beam. Maybe that was the fastest fight in the universe, folks, but Birder was not the one who won. And of course, fan favorite Cooler is moving on.
Folks, up next we have another really interesting battle. Because first up we have the ultimate villain, the final encounter, the most powerful of the Shadow Dragons, Omega Shenron. He is an incredible threat. Even fused Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta couldn't stop him. Now, funnily enough, his opponent is a mini version of Goku, though it's not the one that actually ended up defeating him. But this version is the one who adventured through the Demon Realm, not the one who had to seek the Black Star Dragon Balls. Man, all these timelines are confusing. Regardless, prepare yourselves for Omega Shenron versus Goku Mini.
All right, Omega Shenron versus Mini Super Saiyan Goku. This one should be a lot of fun.
It's your fault that I was born in the first place.
Of course, this is a different version of a mini Goku, like I said before. And right away, Shenron hitting that Sonic Sway, but Goku still being relentless, getting a nice combo off and making quick work of Shenron's health advantage. Goku getting a crazy combo off using the power pole to his advantage. All right, Goku still just using his fists and the power pole, not having to use any special attacks at all yet. But Shenron is looking a little bit lost in this fight. I'm not sure what he's going to do. Goku going in for this rush, and that's going to connect. He's got the Ki Blast spam. He's moving all over the place at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and then he kicks Shenron down into the stage. Let's see, both fighters now charging up. We could be seeing a Super Kamehameha from Goku. We could also be seeing the minus power energy ball coming out from Shenron here. It looks like Goku is going for the Kamehameha. It looked like Shenron was going for it too. We could be seeing a beam struggle here, folks. We might, although that Kamehameha might hit Shenron before he gets this attack off. We'll have to see. Whoever gets hit by this is going to be absolutely devastated. It does not connect. Goku's Kamehameha makes contact first, and that is going to leave Shenron on his last health bar. after all of that, he couldn't fire off that attack in time, and now Goku has entered sparking mode once again, while Shenron has been locked off. Let's see what Goku decides to do. Once again, both fighters are in sparking mode. Shenron needs to get in and use this attack first this time. He can't let Goku get the moves on him. All right, he's getting the follow-up. We are going to see another attempt at this minus power energy ball. Let's see if this one connects. It looks like it's going to. And it does! A clean connection from Shenron, but still Goku has a little bit of sparking mode left, and he still has so much more health than Omega Shenron, who looked like he was going to try to power up to the very limit, but he couldn't get it off in time. Goku interrupts it. Now Goku's just coming in with a combo, and he's going to finish him off with this rush. No! Shenron manages to block it, but he's 1 HP. One hit from Goku will finish off Shenron. He hits the Sonic Sway. He is going down swinging, folks. He is leaving nothing. He is doing everything he can to stay in this fight with 1 HP. He's entering sparking mode. He's going for his ultimate attack once again. This is the third attempt. Is this going to connect? If it does, it could spell disaster for Goku, who's been looking very good up to this point. It does not make contact. That is going to be Goku still in the lead in this fight. Still up, now in sparking mode. Shenron also matching the sparking mode. We have another rush coming out from Goku. The minus power energy ball coming out from Shenron. Folks, Goku might get hit by this, and if he does, it's going to be the end. I don't know if the rush connects in time. It does! Goku connects the rush, and that is going to put Shenron down. That's Daima Goku Mini moving on.
All right, next up in the first corner, we have the reincarnation of Buu and Goku's apprentice. After fusing with Majin Buu in the future, Oob unleashed his full potential as Majoob. And he's going up against a version of his master. Kind of. This is the first fusion of Goku and Vegeta. They merged using the fusion dance to stop Janemba in hell. And yes, it's just as badass as it sounds. It's Gogeta Z. Let's see if Majoob's power is enough to take on that of Goku and Vegeta.
All right, let's get ready for Majoob versus Z Gogeta.
I'll use this power and defeat you!
Put some effort into it, why don't you? Don't blame me if you get blown away.
All right, let's go. Both fighters wearing a vest. Gogeta at a health advantage as well over Oob. All right, Oob, nice dodge, but Gogeta's power is relentless. He gets a lot of hits in, dealing Oob's first health bar almost. All right, Oob wanting to go on the offensive, but not able to break through Gogeta's defense, and he just doesn't have a defense of his own. Gogeta is absolutely brutal right now. All right, Oob sends Gogeta into the wall, finally getting some attacks off. He goes for this paralysis beam. This is going to be his opportunity to follow up, but he only hits one little ki blast. That was a mistake from Oob, a tactical irresponsible move. All right, both fighters now trying to keep their distance. Oob going for another paralysis beam. He needs to actually get a combo off here. He's not doing anything. He sidesteps and gets behind Gogeta, finally getting a good combo off. Now he tried to charge up a little bit, but he didn't get very much ki, and he used it to fly in. Okay, a little Z counter duel, and that's going to go to Gogeta. Oob is not looking very good in this fight right now. Gogeta is coming in with this rush attack, and that's going to connect, leaving Oob on his last health bar, if even alive. He has just a little bit of health left. Let's see what Gogeta decides to do to finish off Oob, because it is not looking good for the boy. All right, Oob once again stunning Gogeta, but he just can't break through that defense no matter what he tries. And that is going to be the end of Majoob. And that is Z Gogeta moving on.
Next up, we have a battle that I personally have been looking forward to for a while. Another one of my personal favorites is about to enter the ring. This Link-alike has a fire fit, a sick sword, and when he's through with you, he can play a song at your funeral on his ocarina. It's Tapion. And yes, that's how you say it. And he's going up against a pretty fearsome foe. In his base form, he's a handsome alien who works under Frieza. But when he transforms, he becomes a disgusting monster with a thirst for brutality. It's Zarbon! Let's see if this hero can take down this monster.
All right, it's Tapion versus Super Zarbon about to get started.
I'll show you the power of courage. I'm unbeatable once I'm transformed.
We know that's not true. Anyway, continuing on with this battle. All right, we have both fighters kind of dancing around each other here. Zarbon getting a couple hits off on Tapion here right at the beginning, but it is still early days, folks. Anything could happen in this fight. Tapion sends Zarbon flying. Both fighters trying to hit perceptions, trying to dance around, but Tapion gets a nice combo off on Zarbon and is now going to take this opportunity to charge. Zarbon getting some buffs, and now we are going for the Brave Cannon here, and that's going to get blocked by Zarbon. Tapion has taken the lead in this fight, but who knows what's going to happen here. He wins that Snap Vanish duel. All right, and now he's going in. He wants to go on this offensive. He gets a good combo off, and he's going to follow up with the Brave Cannon once again, and that is going to leave Zarbon at about halfway down his second health bar. All right, Tapion wants to charge up again, but Zarbon's not letting him. We got a little Z counter duel, and that one's going to go to Tapion. All right, he's charging up. We could be seeing a couple ultimate attacks come out, but Zarbon is not charging up at all, and Tapion is liking throwing these Brave Cannons out. All right, both fighters, again, hitting that perception in front of each other. Tapion now charging up. We could be seeing the sparking mode here, and it looks like we are. He's charged all the way up, and he is going for the slash attack, not his ultimate, but he could still go for his ultimate in the next couple seconds if he chose, but he's going for the Brave Cannon instead, and that is going to get deflected by Zarbon. This is a pretty slow fight, folks. Another Brave Cannon from Tapion, and that's actually going to connect, dealing a lot of damage to Zarbon and leaving him on his last health bar. Zarbon is just not doing much in this fight. Seems like he's unable to find his footing. Tapion now going to sparking mode, as does Zarbon, and we are going to be seeing this elegant beam come out from Zarbon, and he still has a little bit of sparking mode left, but so does Tapion, who could be going for his ultimate attack here any moment now, as he gets in a nice infinite combo on Zarbon and then goes for the Brave Cannon, which Zarbon saw coming and blocked it, but he still only has a little bit of health left. He goes for another elegant blaster, and that's going to connect. If he continues to spam these, it could be bad for Zarbon. He has taken a lot of damage here in the last couple seconds. We're seeing another one come out, and that's going to connect. He's not even attempting to use his hero's flute, which blocks beams, and he does have the stocks for it. We're going for another slash attack, and that is not going to connect on Zarbon at all. Tapion now charging up once again, and he's going for another slash, and that one is going to connect. Tapion is moving on. I'm happy to see my boy advance.
Next up, folks, we have a battle of androids. First up is Gamma 2. He's the fun one of the Gamma duo. He's one of the most powerful androids in the Dragon Ball verse, created by Giroux's grandson, Dr. Hedo. And his opponent is another one of Dr. Giroux's creations. This clown-faced robot is ready to show up this new gen superhero wannabe. It's Android 19. Let's see which mechanized maniac is gonna come out on top.
All right, Gamma 2 versus 19, a battle of androids.
Dr. Hedo is the ultimate genius.
Now I will absorb all of your energy.
All right, let's see. Like Android 19 kind of just alluded to, neither of these fighters have energy, and we're coming out with an a wave, an energy wave right away, but Gamma dodges, gets behind, and gets a nice combo off, and follows up with a shot from his gun, dealing a lot of damage to 19 right away. As I was saying, neither of these fighters have the ability to charge ki, as they are both androids, so we are going to be seeing stuff like this throughout this fight, where neither fighters have ki. Sometimes they're just going to hang out and recharge. All right, a nice little Snap Vanish duel is going to go to Gamma, who's taking the early lead here in this fight. And he's going to go for that superhero pose, get a couple of buffs, and then he's going to go in on Android 19 and just do a ton of damage. All right, again, he's trying to rush in, but he doesn't have the key to Android 19, using this buff to get some armor. We're going for another Z counter duel, and that one is going to go to Android 19, who actually wins twice in a row. All right, it looks as though Android 19 just isn't ready for the power that Gamma 2 has. Gamma's coming in and getting some good combos. He's using these buffs moves. Again, not using too many special attacks here in this fight, as neither fighters have the ability to charge up their ki. But, ooh, we're getting a clash here. And it looks like this one might be going to Gamma 2. Oh, it actually goes to 19. I spoke too soon. 19 is going to have to do a lot more than that, however, if they want to bring this fight back. Android 19 keeping their defenses up is smart, but they need to go on the offense if they want to win. All right, 19, like I said, getting a good combo off, finally hitting the offensive, and then getting a couple of buffs as well. All right, Gamma 2 is charging in, hitting that buff move himself, that superhero fighting pose. Trying to break through 19's guard, but can't because of that buff. All right, it appears as though both fighters are going to be taking a second to hang back. Again, they're keeping it a little bit slow here. Okay, looks like Gamma 2 is going to try to break through that guard again, but just can't. 19 is absolutely relentless. All right, Gamma 2 landing in the stands, hitting this buff move, allowing his ki to charge up a little bit. All right, and he's going for the blast, and that's going to connect, leaving Android 19 on their last health bar about halfway down. Both fighters, again, just standing here, trying to charge up some ki. We're going in for another clash engagement here. And that one is going to go to Gamma 2, once again leaving Android 19 very low HP. A good combo, a blast from his gun, anything would take down 19 here. All right, but 19 is still fighting with everything that they have. All right, both fighters face to face. A sidestep from Gamma. A grab from 19. Unfortunately, they don't get any energy because Gamma doesn't have any energy to give. All right, once again, we have armor coming out from 19 and buffs for Gamma 2. Gamma 2 coming in, but a Z counter from 19 is going to send him flying. His health is slowly getting burnt down here, folks. He needs to do some damage to 19 if he wants to end this fight, and that looks like it's going to be about it. 19 now with 1 HP left. A good combo is going to come out. If he wins the Z counter duel, he'll take it, but he does not. Just one hit, and that's all he needed to put 19 down. And that's going to be Gamma 2 moving on.
I hope you guys are ready because I think this next fight is gonna be intense. First up, we have the father of Goku and a fierce Saiyan warrior who's slain countless. But don't let his looks fool you. Goku may be the spitting image of him, but they're nothing alike. And Bardock knows his way around a fight. And half of his opponent is one of his grandchildren, the fusion of Goten and Trunks. When these two merge, their power increases dramatically, as does their ego. Are they all talk, or is this fight over for Bardock before it begins? Let's find out the answer to that question right now.
All right, Bardock versus Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. This is gonna be crazy.
You're related to us, right? If you're a fellow Saiyan, that means I can go all out.
That's one powerful kid. All right, then. I'll take you on.
All right, of course, Bardock is fighting in base form. He's just a normal Saiyan, and Gotenks is 2 Saiyans fused and with their power multiplied by Super Saiyan 3. So they do start with a health buff, and just power scaling wise, this fight is looking like it's gonna go to Gotenks, especially with that epic combo. And now they're already entering sparking mode. We're gonna be seeing this Boo volleyball right away, maybe? And that does connect. Gotenks just doesn't even know how to hold back, immediately using their strongest attack, calling him Piccolo for this spike. And that is going to deal a ton of damage to Bardock, leaving him down with under 1.5 health bars left. He doesn't even have an opportunity to attempt to fight here in this battle. Gotenks immediately countering that attack, that offensive that Bardock was trying to go for. Some Ki Blast spam from Gotenks and a Sonic Sway from Bardock. Looks like Gotenks wasn't expecting that, but now Bardock has finally gotten down Gotenks' health advantage just as Bardock reaches his final health bar. Gotenks once again entering sparking mode. We could be seeing that Rebellion shockwave coming out from Bardock, that Insta-Spark that is also an explosive wave. Could get him out of a bind here if he so chooses. Gotenks not using their, not using their ultimate attack. It looks like that is going to be it. We're going to be playing volleyball twice in this fight, and Gotenks has simply made quick work of Bardock.
Super Saiyan 3! It just can't be beat!
And that is Gotenks moving on, knocking Bardock out of the tournament.
I guess that wasn't as intense as I thought it was gonna be. Anyway, moving on, we have the other Gamma. Gamma 1 is much different than Gamma 2. He's more serious, but still has a strong sense of justice. His power was able to stand up against Ultimate Gohan, so he just might be number 1. And interestingly enough, we have another android on android battle, and Gamma 1's opponent is the OG bad boy in a bandana. In an alternate timeline, he's responsible for taking out most of the Z fighters. It's Android 17. Let's see which of these androids is gonna take the victory.
All right, we got some more androids battling. It's Gamma 1 versus 17Z.
Outdated models could never match my power.
I'm gonna fight like I mean it for once.
All right, let's get right into it. All right, a Sonic Sway coming out from 17 right away. All right, we're coming out with a big Z counter duel as well, and that one's going to go to 17, who's going to be throwing in a couple of energy balls. That's going to do a lot of damage to Gamma 1 right away. 17 is not playing around in this fight. All right, we got the superhero pose from Gamma 1. Both fighters trying to hit that perception. A good sidestep from Gamma 1, but a Snap Vanish duel is going to go to number 1. All right, just like we have seen with other android battles, neither of these fighters can charge ki, so it's going to be slow in way of combat from range. They're going to want to getting tight and just try to punch each other. Gamma 1 doing an excellent job breaking through 17's guard there, and a good Sonic Sway coming out from number 1 as well. But 17 is getting some really nice hits off, still in the lead here in this fight. All right, looks like Gamma 1 does have the ability to use one of his blasts if he so chooses here, and he is going for one of these buff moves. Let's see what 17 tries to do. He's got to play a little bit defensive here, but it looks like Gamma is the one playing defensive, not able to get his guard broken by 17, and then he follows up with a nice blast, and that is actually going to put Gamma 1 in the lead here. All right, we got some more buffs from 17, and now Gamma 1 is just getting in, going blow for blow right now. A big Z counter duel, and that one's going to go for number 1. All right, and that's going to be a counter from 17. Both of these fighters showing off their martial arts prowess. But Gamma 1 now has a heavy lead, putting 17 on his last health bar, but 17 is just fighting. He's doing everything he can to push back number 1. All right, another superhero pose is going to come out from Gamma 1. Let's see what 17 does here. He's going to try to break through this guard once again, and he does break through, getting a nice combo off. Folks, this is still anybody's fight. Gamma 1 is still in the lead, but not by much. All right, a Sonic Sway from 17 is going to put them on the same health bar, and now 17 has taken the slightest of leads, winning that Snap Vanish duel. Okay, some more buffs coming out. All right, both fighters dashing around, losing ki rapidly. Both fighters getting as many buffs as they can get. All right, 17 vanishing around, so is Gamma number 1. Gamma trying to break through 17's guard, but now he's getting his second win. He wins that Z counter and then sends him flying, does a little bit of ki blast spam. All right, once again, he's doing this superhero pose. They're both trying to stay as buffed as possible. They're vanishing all over the place. This is still anybody's fight here, folks. Either one of them could get a good combo off or shoot a blast at the other. A Sonic Sway from 17, if he gets the follow-up here, that could be it for Gamma 1, but Gamma 1 gets in and starts getting a good combo, but he stops. He's trying to play it safe. 17 gets some buffs and hits the Sonic Sway. I think that's going to be it. No, it leaves Gamma 1 at 1 HP. And then with an elbow, 17 takes that extremely close fight. And that is 17Z moving on.
All right, folks, we have a few more battles to get through. And the first fighter in this round is the first Saiyan we were introduced to from Universe 6. When we first met him, Cabba had a lot to learn. But since meeting Vegeta, he's unlocked extreme power in the form of Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2. Now, Cabba isn't ready to let down his master, so he's gonna give this fight everything he's got. Now, Vegeta might be his master, but his opponent in this fight is actually a version of Goku. This pink-haired monster is actually Zombie Zamasu, who went back in time, killed Goku's family, and stole his body. But with his Rose form, he truly has the power of a god. Let's see if Kaba can stand up to the power of Goku Black. This fight is ready to go.
Okay, let's see what this little Saiyan can do against the mighty god.
You have to go through me.
Let us begin the banquet. And while we're at it, you may consider this your last supper.
Okay, big talk from Goku Black. Let's see. All right, Kaba getting a few hits off first, but Goku Black makes quick work. Okay, both fighters going in. It looks like they were going to charge up a little bit, but now it looks like Kaba is trying to break through Goku Black's guard, and he does. A nice little counter from Black. Okay, Kaba is being pretty relentless here in the beginning of this fight. It looks like he's coming out with a lot of energy here. All right, and Goku Black playing a little defensive. All right, Kaba's charging up. Let's see if Goku Black does the same. He does. Let's see if these fighters are trying to get into sparking mode. It doesn't look like Goku Black is. Kaba could be hitting that final stream. He goes for the instant transmission. Kaba loses him. Let's see what he can do. He's auto-blocking that Ki Blast spam because he's in sparking mode. He has no idea where Goku Black is. Goku Black charges up to sparking mode himself while Kaba's burns down. And Goku Black is going for his ultimate attack while Kaba has no idea where he's coming from, and that's gonna connect. A big Kamehameha from Goku Black. Now Kaba still locked off. He does have full ki, and now he's charging up to sparking mode once again to see if he can hit this final stream, and that's what he's gonna do, except that is actually his Gallic Cannon. Okay, he still has a little bit of sparking mode left. They are on the same health bar. He's going to be spamming another one of these beams, and that's going to make contact. Goku Black is now on his last health bar, and Kaba is still looking pretty good. Okay, Goku Black stopped charging up into sparking. He once again hits the instant transmission, locking Kaba off. It seemed to work for him the first time, so he's trying it again. He keeps trying to do this Ki Blast spam, and it's not going to work. He's going for this rush attack, and that's going to connect. That is going to put Goku Black in the lead here in this fight, but it's still going to be extremely close. All right, Kaba, now with just a little bit of health left, Goku Black is charging up again, but Kaba still has his ultimate attack online. He could try to use it now, but Goku Black goes for the Black Kamehameha, and Kaba wasn't ready for it. That's Goku Black taking the victory.
It is the very duty of a god to eliminate evil. With this, the world is one step closer to becoming a true utopia.
Well, we're going to have to listen to Goku Black yap for another round of the tournament.
Next up, folks, we have another fusion. The other fusion of Goku and Vegeta. This one came about when they used the Potara earrings. Now, whenever these two fuse, you know it's about to go down. And their opponent is one of Goku's original foes. This version of Piccolo doesn't have any fancy transformations, no fusions. He's gotten where he is through training and a drive to kill Goku. And you know what? He achieved that goal. So he has experience taking out Saiyans. Let's see if he can take on two at once. This battle is about to begin.
All right, it's time for Vegito Blue versus Piccolo.
Let's go! You stand no chance of beating me.
Okay, let's begin this fight. Big health advantage from Vegito Blue, but Piccolo hits a nice sonic sway right here at the beginning of this fight. But now Vegito is going on the offensive. Ooh, okay, he blocks that grab. Piccolo trying to go on the offensive, but he misses some of those punches, overshoots just a little bit. He is trying to make quick work of this first health bar that Vegito has over him, and now Piccolo is charging up to sparking mode. We could see the special beam cannon come out, and we are! Is this gonna connect? As Vegito is also trying to charge up to spark. And that does connect, dealing a ton of damage to Vegito. They are now at just about the same health, but Vegito is now going for his ultimate attack, the final God Kamehameha. And that's gonna connect. Piccolo taking a ton of damage, leaving him under 1.5 health bars. And now Vegito has the ability to run away with this fight. He uses his full power charge, but Piccolo stuns him. This is Piccolo's opportunity to go in, but Vegito's guard goes back up. Piccolo's still getting a good combo off. All right. We have another Kamehameha coming out from Vegito. It does a little bit of damage to Piccolo, putting him on his last health bar. Now Vegito is just going in fist for fist, blow for blow. And now Piccolo only with a little bit of health left. We might need to see another special beam cannon come out if he wants to win this fight. It looks like both fighters are in sparking mode. Piccolo is going for another special beam cannon. Is this going to connect? It does not, and Vegito sidesteps, goes for the Kamehameha of his own. I think that this is going to hit Piccolo, and that's going to be the end of the Namekian. And that is Vegito Blue moving on.
Okay, folks, moving right along. First up in our next fight, we have the father of Frieza. At one point, he ruled the entire galaxy. And you can tell just by looking at him, he's ready to put his opponents on ice. And that opponent is somebody who actually kinda works for him. The captain himself. Ginyu is not only a powerful foe, but he has plenty of tricky techniques up his sleeve. I'm excited to see who's gonna be in whose body by the end of this fight. And there's no time to delay, so this battle is starting now.
Okay, King Cold is about to take on Captain Ginyu.
I trust you've been keeping up with your training.
King Cold, sir. Your army is in capable hands as long as I'm here. I'll show you.
All right, let's see what he has to show. Okay, right away, a slow start, but King Cold comes out swinging, and he's going to hit him with this death beam, and that is going to do a lot of damage to Ginyu's first health bar. All right, Ginyu's trying to come in and break through King Cold's guard, but King Cold actually showing off his stuff here in this fight. He's keeping up a good defense. All right, Captain Ginyu using that shock, which is going to give him some buffs. He might be preparing himself for the body snatch. All right, a nice dodge from King Cold. Both fighters trying to break through each other's guards as they are just trading blows here. But looks like King Cold is still a full health bar up on Ginyu. All right, a nice snap vanish duel is going to put King Cold even further into this lead. Ginyu now finally getting a good combo off. Although King Cold uses the explosive wave to break out of it, a big perception from Ginyu. Now King Cold has an opportunity to just bash him, just bash into him. All right, King Cold now charging up. It looks like he's going to be going sparking mode. We could be seeing Frieza make an appearance in this fight, but Ginyu is also charged up to sparking mode. We could see his body switch technique come out. King Cold is going for his ultimate, though. If this attack connects, it's going to be it, but Ginyu goes for the body snatch as he charges in, and it connects. King Cold's body has now been swapped with Captain Ginyu, and now Captain Ginyu is in the lead, leaving King Cold with his minuscule amount of health, his one health bar left, but Cold still managing to do a lot of damage even though he is in Captain Ginyu's body. All right, Ginyu is trying to come in. Doesn't matter what body he's in, it seems like King Cold still has a rock-solid defense. Now, both fighters are charging up to sparking mode. Of course, neither of them have their ultimate abilities now because they don't know how to use them in each other's bodies. So they're going to be sitting here in sparking mode a little bit lost, but it's up to Ginyu to get in and just deal a little bit of damage to King Cold, but King Cold now has Ginyu in the spin cycle. All right, this is a battle of blows here, folks. Another Z counter is coming out. And that is going to go to Cold, who is now entering sparking mode once again, but so is Ginyu. Both of these fighters charging up to their maximum power. It's just going to be on one of them to actually finish the other, and that is King Cold putting everything in on Ginyu. Almost getting him down to the same health. They are now on the same health bar. King Cold charging up to sparking once again. He's literally using everything here that he has access to in Ginyu's body. All right, he's coming in once again. It looks like this fight was destined to be King Cold's because he is relentless. He might be in Ginyu's body, but he still took the victory.
Is this all your army is capable of? Really, Frieza?
And that is, again, even though it was in Ginyu's body, King Cold advancing to the next round.
Okay, folks, this is a character I know some of you have been waiting for, and it's Goku's ultimate technique. His hair doesn't just turn silver, but his body can move without thinking, and he can unleash some truly devastating attacks. It's Ultra Instinct Goku! And his opponent is actually one of Goku's newest friends. It depends on how you look at the timeline. New for us, not new for him. He's one of the demons that Goku befriended on his adventure through the Demon Realm. He has purple lightning magic that's sure to shock. It's Glorio. Whew, I really hope that Goku goes easy on his new friend, but I'm sure they're both ready to entertain. Let's begin Ultra Instinct Goku versus Glorio.
All right, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Finally, we get to see MUI Goku take the stage. Just the overflowing power of Ultra Instinct.
The true form of autonomous Ultra Instinct.
And also Glorio. All right, let's begin. All right, MUI right away. Goku barreling down on Glorio, but Glorio does end up winning that little Snap Vanish duel. All right, both fighters charging up a little, sending in a little bit of key spam. All right, Goku once again coming in. He is so fast. Already doing 1 health bar to Glorio, and of course he is starting at a health advantage. All right, a big combo from Goku, and now he's going to be charging up. We'll have to see if we see this ultimate attack come out. Looks like Glorio is also charging up to Sparking. Goku is going to let him do everything he can to try to deal some damage to him, but I don't know. All right, Glorio is going to be getting some buffs here, and he does manage to land a couple of hits on Goku. Getting a pretty decent combo off, but Goku puts an end to it and then goes for this ultimate attack, and that connects. He goes for the ultimate Kamehameha, and that might be the end of Glorio. And it is. That was a quick fight, but not unexpected. And that, of course, is going to be Goku MUI moving on.
Alright, we just had Goku in a fight, but now it's time for one of his enemies to take the stage. It's Frieza's ultimate form, except for the other one. He's got a new gold bod and immense power. After training for the first time in his life, Frieza is ready to take revenge on the entire universe. Now, Frieza may have gotten this golden look through training, but our next opponent is a natural blonde. She may be a wife and mother, but before she settled with Krillin, 18 was one of the strongest beings on Earth. And she still is. This robo baddie can throw down and she's not afraid to show it. It's Android 18. Get ready, folks, because I think this is gonna be a good one. It's Golden Frieza versus 18.
Let's get ready for Golden Frieza versus Android 18.
Go the niceties of battle. Don't hold this against me.
If you want to get your face smashed in, I'd be happy to grant you wish.
All right, let's go. Which of these fighters is going to move on to round 2? And that's going to be Frieza doing a lot of damage here in the beginning of this fight. Again, Android 18 being an android will not be charging ki, so Frieza might be at a disadvantage here. He does have an opportunity to charge up now, so that's exactly what he's going to do already, going in for sparking mode, although he doesn't actually. He goes for the no hard feelings hit, which does not connect. I think he was trying to catch Android 18 off guard there. All right, Android 18 is now going for this volley, and that's going to connect, doing a lot of damage to Frieza. Now she has taken the lead here in this fight. All right, both of these fighters dancing around each other. A big Sonic Sway from 18 is going to send Frieza flying away, and she closes the distance and gets in a good combo behind Frieza. Now she is definitely in the lead here in this fight. Let's see what she decides to do next. She goes for this energy wave, and that is going to put Frieza down to 2 health bars left, but he uses his Insta-Spark to enter sparking mode. And now he's going to get her into the spin cycle here, although maybe not. All right, he's going for this endless combo. She hits the Z counter, and she wins that duel, and she's going to follow up with this volley. Now Frieza only down to just over 1 health bar left, and his sparking mode burns down. He doesn't use his ultimate attack. or any of his attacks at that, and now he's on his last health bar, and Android 18 does the exact same thing. She enters sparking mode, but just hits him with that beam point blank, like he was just not ready for it. And now Frieza's in one-hit territory, and she's going for another one, and that's Android 18 overtaking Golden Frieza. That's Android 18 advancing to the next round.
Just as I was thinking, it's been too long since we've seen Trunks in the tournament, we have our next matchup. Here we have Trunks after his time training with Vegeta in the Time Chamber, where he discovered a form beyond Super Saiyan. He's bulked out and full of angst. It's Trunks Melee. Now, a big problem with this form that Trunks is going to be fighting in is that it's slow, and that certainly isn't going to be doing him any favors in this matchup because his opponent is a literal angel. Whis is one of the most powerful beings in the cosmos, and he won't be using his full power today as that would spell disaster for the tournament, but he's still going to be tough to take down. Between some devastating attacks and a version of autonomous movement himself, Whis is just here for fun and the snack bar. Let's get right into Trunks versus Whis.
Okay, it's time for Super Trunks versus Whis.
You'll soon understand the difference in our power.
You heard of Goku's training, and now you wish to try your hand at it.
All right, both of these fighters have big hair, which I think is fun, but Trunks has huge muscles and Whis is kind of thin. Immediately, we have a Finish Buster coming out, and that is actually going to make quick work of Whis' health advantage here in this fight. Again, I wouldn't be super disappointed if Whis does end up losing this fight. I don't think he's trying that hard. I don't think he has his heart in it. He's just here, again, for the snack bar. So, we'll see what happens. Trunks is definitely going all out here, and it shows as he's currently in the lead. Big snap vanish duels from both fighters, and all of those are going to Trunks, as now Whis is down to 2 health bars. A big Sonic Sway from Trunks. It looks like maybe this training with Whis is actually paying off, even though he is in this big, bulky, slow form. It looked like he was going to try to enter sparking mode there. He's going for the Finish Buster, but unfortunately, Whis' beam connects first. Let's see what these fighters decide to do. A big perception from Trunks. He's going to leave Whis reeling for a moment, and Whis flies away. Looks like both fighters are going to charge up. Whis actually coming in. All right, a big sidestep from both fighters. Whis once again flying away. It's like he's toying with Trunks right now. He eats his parfait, and Trunks just lets him, which now gives Whis the health advantage. Trunks going for the inexperienced power-up. He's now in sparking mode. We could see his ultimate attack, which I believe is an explosive wave coming out, which would deal a lot of damage to Whis, and that looks like he's going for it. Whis is standing right there in the blast zone, so that is going to deal a ton of damage to Whis. Even though he just got some of that health back from the snack that he ate, he does still have his sparking mode as well. He could call in Lord Beerus, but it looks like that sparking meter is burning down. I don't know if he'll get the opportunity to use it. He is smacking Trunks about, but Trunks does hit that explosive wave to stop that combo, but he's going to follow up with this beam here. This is still anybody's fight. It is extremely close. One Finish Buster or burning attack could put Trunks back in the lead. Both fighters once again entering sparking mode here. Looks like Whis is going for that finger beam, but that's not going to deal any damage to Trunks as he enters sparking mode there. All right, Whis getting some of his auto dodge on. Trunks couldn't land a couple of those attacks, and then he ends up losing that little duel. Trunks, his sparking mode is burning down. He's going to need to hit that explosive wave if he wants to, but Whis is just spamming this finger beam, and now Trunks is on his last health bar, just over halfway down. Whis entering sparking mode once again. Trunks does manage to stop him that time, but his defense is not good enough to hold back Whis. Looks like throughout this fight, Trunks has been deteriorating. He started out so strong, and then he's going to get blasted by that beam through the smoke, and that is going to be Whis moving on. Trunks put up a good fight, but that is Whis moving on.
Alright folks, and we are going to be getting right into the next battle where we're going to be meeting another version of Frieza. After getting blowed up on Namek, Frieza had some work done. So he's back and wants to let out his rage on anyone who crosses his path. And his opponent entering the ring right now is one of the members of the Love Trio from Universe 2. This fearsome fighter has a wild side that's fast, unpredictable, and ferocious. Now let's see if Frieza or Kakunsa will take this victory.
All right, it's time for Mecha Frieza versus Kakunsa.
Warned. I'm in no mood for games. Let's get this over with.
Can you overcome the power of my love?
All right, let's see if the power of love or metal is stronger. All right, Death Beam from Frieza right away. Seems like he is going all out here in the beginning of this fight. Kakunsa trying to charge up some ki, but Frieza comes in. Kakunsa seems like catches him off guard, gets in a good combo here, and is going to follow up with this rush attack, and that's going to connect, dealing a ton of damage to Frieza. Look at the speed from Kakunsa. That is now her taking the lead here, and she's going to charge up a little bit more while Frieza gets some buffs. Kakunsa comes in, but Frieza dodges. All right, a big Z counter, snap, vanish, and that is going to go to Kakunsa. They are here in the stands now, destroying the arena. All right, another death beam from Frieza is going to get blocked by Kakunsa. They are on the same health bar, but she does have the lead currently in this fight. All right. Let's see what happens next. Frieza flying away. Seems like he wants to charge up, but he's going to go up for another death beam, and that is once again going to get blocked. Seems like both these fighters could do with regenerating some of their ki here, but Kakunsa is coming in with a nice combo once again, and she uses her Maiden's Fury, which is an Insta-Spark move, and now we could see the power of love unfolding right in front of us. And it looks like that's exactly what is about to happen. She calls in Ribrianne, and they're going to shoot Frieza with a big ol' love heart. And that's going to connect, leaving Frieza with just a sliver of HP left. It looks like Kakunsa is going to run away with this fight. But Frieza is now charging up to sparking mode. He's mad, and he wants to unleash his ultimate attack back on Kakunsa, but Kakunsa rushes in, and Frieza manages to dodge. This is his opportunity to follow up, and that's exactly what he's going to do, releasing his supernova. And that's going to connect right back on Kakunsa. It's going to do a lot of damage, leaving her on her last health bar. But again, Frieza is in the danger zone right now. Any attack could put him down. And he's taking this opportunity to charge into sparking mode. Literally one sliver left. The Maiden's Rage from Kakunsa. Everybody is going all out, but Frieza was not ready for that ki blast. Kakunsa winning that fight. And that's Kakunsa moving on.
Now it's about time we got another version of Vegeta into the ring. And this is the most recent iteration of Vegeta. And you thought Goku was the only one who could turn his hair blue? Nope. The Saiyan Prince also has God forms, and his hair turns blue just like his wife. But all jokes aside, Vegeta doesn't like to lose, so he's gonna be going all out in this fight. And he has good reason to against this next opponent. It's Metal Cooler. Just like his brother, after being defeated by Goku, he resurrected and got a metal body. Powered by the big Getty star, Cooler is looking to get his chrome-polished fists dirty. Now we'll have to see which of these fighters comes out on top. It's Vegeta versus Metal Cooler.
All right, it is Blue Vegeta versus Metal Cooler.
The battle continues, does it?
Imbecile, you think you're a match for me?
Now, it is interesting that we had Mecha Frieza and Metal Cooler back to back. A big Sonic Sway from Cooler right away. All right, let's see what he does. And he is considered an android, so he won't be charging ki in this fight. Another Sonic Sway from Metal Cooler. Vegeta is having trouble breaking through his defense here. All right, we're going to have that death volley come out, and that is going to do a little bit of damage to Vegeta. He does manage to vanish out of the way. Now, Vegeta should be able to manage this fight in his blue form, but it seems like he's either testing the waters or is surprised at Metal Cooler's. All right, it looks like he is going for that, that buff, which is going to give him a ton of buff attacks as well. Let's see where he goes with it. He does have his secondary buff move, which also changes his aura, his ki. Cooler seemingly confident in this fight. It looks like all he needs is to throw off these volleys every now and again, and Vegeta is just unable to do much. Another Sonic Sway coming out from Cooler. I'm not sure what Cooler has done to train to become as powerful as a Super Saiyan Blue, but Vegeta is having trouble here in this fight. Vegeta once again trying to come in to engage, but Cooler is just not letting him. Now, Cooler does not have any ki, so he might be taking an opportunity to chill. All right, Now, I was going to say Vegeta could go for his ultimate attack. He does try to hit that final flash, and he does. But Vegeta's ultimate attack in this form is an explosive wave, but it does do damage to him as well. So it is smartest to use that as a last resort. He uses 2 final flashes in a row, 3 final flashes in a row, and all of those are connecting. Cooler just took a ton of damage. I mean, and that's a 4th final flash. Vegeta just spamming that attack. But it got the job done.
Get out of my sight.
That is going to be Vegeta moving on.
Alright folks, we only have a couple of battles left, so let's keep moving through these. First up, we have Gohan. Peak Gohan. This form is his true potential unlocked, with enough aura to fill a digital picture frame. Gohan's not here to fight, he's here to kill. But hopefully he holds off on that whole bit, because his opponent is one of Goku's original rivals and friends. He's fallen quite a bit behind as far as power scaling, but hey, he showed up and he's gonna try his best in this fight. It's Yamcha. And it looks like our fighters are as ready as they're gonna get, so let's begin this battle.
Okay, it's Ultimate Gohan versus Yamcha. Both fighters rocking the orange gi.
Let's do this.
Oh, you want to train with me? I mean, sure. Suppose you could use it, huh?
All right, let's begin. Right away, Gohan getting a nice shot off. Yamcha starting at a health disadvantage here? I'm not exactly sure why. All right, Gohan getting some big combos off, being absolutely relentless in the beginning of this fight. And a Kamehameha point blank, but Yamcha's actually going to manage to block it. He tries to go in and gets stunned by Gohan's Ki Blast spam. Yamcha actually getting a good combo off and hits that grab. All right, Yamcha now charging up. It looks like he is going all the way. We could see the Spirit Ball come out, but we could also see Burst Rush from Gohan. Yamcha goes for the Kamehameha. Gohan blocks it and goes for one of his own, and that actually connects, dealing a ton of damage to Yamcha. Gohan once again charging up to sparking, and oh, it looked like Yamcha was going to try to do the same, but he does not. It looks like he's trying to chill back in this fight, and Yamcha, he was blocking. I don't know how he got hit by that, but he did. Yamcha once again charging to sparking mode. He's going all out. And Gohan is going for this rush. He's gonna miss. All right, let's see if Yamcha can do anything with this sparking mode. He goes for the Kamehameha, and Gohan is just going to block it. All right, Yamcha comes in. He gets a couple good hits off and goes for a point-blank Kamehameha that connects. But Gohan, still a lot of health up on Yamcha, and he goes for the rush once again, and that's gonna connect. He's gonna spin around Yamcha like the nothing that he is and blast him with Ki Balls. And that's it, folks. Gohan takes the victory. Of course, that was going to be Gohan moving on.
Okay folks, just 2 battles left to go, and I think this next one is gonna be quick. Because our first fighter is one of the members of the Pride Troopers. He has a technique called Maximum Light Speed Mode that he uses to defeat his opponents before they even know he's coming. Dispo is ready to race to that #1 spot. And it's interesting because last battle we had Yamcha, and this time we have another student of the Turtle Hermit, Goku's best friend and a fierce fighter. He's one of, if not the strongest Earthling. He may not be a Super Saiyan, but he's a martial arts master and has a ton of techniques at his disposal that allow him to stand against even the fiercest competition. It's the OG bald boy, Krillin. Now let's see if Krillin has what it takes to take on Dispo. Check it out right now.
All right, this next fight is Dispo versus Krillin, folks.
A worthy opponent. It's about time. Trained hard for this day. I can win. I feel great. I can do this.
All right, let's get into it. Krillin is pumping himself up, and it looks like he's ready once again, also starting at a little bit of a health disadvantage. All right, but both these fighters are going blow for blow here. Dispo getting a good combo off on Krillin. Let's see if Krillin can answer back. Dispo wanting to charge up, but Krillin not letting him. He goes for the solar flare. Dispo now blinded, but he still manages to break through and send Krillin flying. And now Dispo is charging all the way up to sparking mode. We could be seeing his ultimate attack coming online. All right, he's going to come in and punch Krillin a couple times. Krillin's going to try to run, but Dispo is fast, Krillin. He's able to catch up, and he is going for this attack. It looks like the United Justice stream is coming out, and that's going to connect. That is going to deal a ton of damage to Krillin, leaving him with just a sliver of HP left. All right, Krillin, what are you going to do? He's going to once again try to hit the solar flare, and he's going for the spread energy beam, and that's going to connect. That's going to deal a lot of damage to Dispo, but it's not enough just yet. Krillin is going into sparking mode, and he's going straight for the Destructo Disc. If this connects, it actually might put Krillin back into the fight, but it doesn't. Dispo still has all 3 of his initial health bars left, and he enters maximum light speed mode. Not that he even really needs it. Both of these fighters charging up with nothing but a little wall in between them, and Dispo powers through it and goes for the Justice Kick, and that's gonna put Krillin down.
You don't get it. I am more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
And that's gonna be Dispo moving on.
Okay, folks, we have made it to the end of our tournament. We have one more battle left. And I gotta say, if you're enjoying these fights, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Every little bit of support helps me out a ton, so that I can continue to bring you fantasy fights, moveset reviews, Drunken Ball Z, all of the things that we do. And hey, I also live stream a ton, so if you see that we're live sometime, come say hi. But with that, let's get into our final battle of round 1. Our first fighter is Android 17 again, but this is his form from Dragon Ball Super. This version of 17 is a bit older and has a bunch of new moves, but he's still the same old 17, and no one can stop him when he's 17 parentheses Super. And funnily enough, we are closing out this tournament with a form of Goku, the original Super Saiyan. This form of Goku exploded with energy after watching Krillin get exploded. And after that last match, it looks like he's feeling the same way he did all those years ago. It's Android 17 Super versus Goku Mid Super Saiyan.
Okay, 17 versus Goku.
A little sparring can't hurt.
Goku's ready for this fight.
Let's spar as Super Saiyans. What do you say?
He's not a Saiyan, Goku. All right, both of these fighters are engaging quick, and they are going back and forth. This is going to be a good one, folks. The last fight of round 1 of our tournament. All right, let's see what Goku has in store for Android 17. All right, Goku's going to try to charge up here a little bit, but 17 doesn't need to, so he's going to come in and engage. Both these fighters are neck and neck here, folks. They are blow for blow. Android 17 following up with a nice beam. That is going to put Goku down a lot, and Android 17 in the clear lead. All right, Goku's going to need to step it up if he wants to move on in this tournament, and he does, going in on 17. He's still not in the lead yet, but he has put in a lot of work there. Goku just using his fists, as he doesn't have an opportunity to charge up Ki, but 17 is still holding on to this lead. He goes for the Kamehameha, but 17 blocks it. He's using this Ki Blast spam now. Goku using every trick at his disposal, but he's not stopping 17 from entering sparking mode. He wants to fight 17 at his strongest, but if 17 uses his ultimate ability now, it's going to be all over for Goku. He needs to bring this fight back. The big Z counter duel, and that is going to go to Goku, and that's just going to burn down 17's sparking meter, which is exactly what he wants to do. A big sonic sway from 17 is going to send Goku flying. Both these fighters on the same health bar, still very close. Goku is angry now, and he's going for the angry Kamehameha. If this connects, it's going to spell disaster for Android 17, and it does! Is this going to eliminate him? It does! Goku, after a hard-fought victory, advances to the next round! And that is Goku moving on!
And folks, that is going to bring us to the end of round 1 of our tournament. We still have plenty of fights to go in round 2 and beyond. And I hope that you'll stick around to see the rest of the tournament through. But our fighters are going to take a break before we move into the next round. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. But with that, I have been Gunchpot. This has been Fantasy Fight. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and of course, as always, goodbye forever.